How has it been, that transition? Because as far as I know, you've never gone entrepreneur.
No.
Up to now.
No. Yeah.
So, and you've done obviously the best path that could be in the corporate world, from intern to mascot, to everything you could do, from radio to radio number, I don't know, was like 18 in Nashville, then you went to New York, and
it was all over the place.
All over, and then
some people say I couldn't keep a job, but that's let's not let facts get in the way of a good story.
I think it's evolution.
Yeah, it's evolution. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with evolution.
But all the way to CEO, you're like, how has it been? That transition.
So it's been a transition, to be honest, because I've had to unlearn a lot of things, and I've had to discover a lot of things and learn at the same time. I think the biggest unlearning for me has been, that I'm not the captain of somebody else's ship. I'm the captain of my ship. And when you're running a company for Oprah, or you're running companies for CBS or Viacom or XM, there is a human or two or a board that's really sort of saying, this is what we're doing. And you have a pretty broad, at least I've always had a pretty broad sandbox to play in and sort of innovate and drive aspects of the business. But at the same, the end result, the buck was stopping with somebody else. When you're the CEO of a company, you got a much bigger sandbox, but at the end of the day, the shareholders are really calling the shots and, things of that nature. So when you go out on your own, as you can figure out, it's like, it begins and ends with you. It's like, hey, you want to sleep in till 9:30 tomorrow morning? Good on you. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah. Nothing's going to get done until 9:31 and you get up. And that transition had been really, really hard. There's been many days over the past 2 or 3 years where I would have these, I wouldn't say panic attacks, but these like waves of anxiety of like, oh man, I've only gotten like 2 or 3 emails. The phone hadn't really rung. And you're like, that was not the case 10 years ago. It was like stacked up with calls and emails. And so I had to unlearn that's not a bad thing.
Right.
That's actually a good thing, and then what do you do with this opportunity now? And how do you want to deploy your brain power to sort of get into it? So I think the learnings for me about it is you ultimately get to choose what you want to do. You're going to make good decisions and bad decisions. I'm much more centered and, I would say, I don't want to say calm because I don't think that's the right word, but certainly centered and, aware and elevated in terms of how I think about it is. And I also, and again, it's like I've never taken a moment to stop and appreciate what I had done, to be honest. It's like...
You didn't have time.
Didn't have time. I was always like kind of grinding, and it's like, yeah, I did okay.
Oh, you did amazing.
Yeah, I did okay. And then you go, all right, how do you do it? So the other part about it is I've really fallen in love with, I write a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
But I've been given a lot of time to speaking and coaching entrepreneurs with a bunch of programs. And I have found that to be far more rewarding than I ever thought. Just to be able to lean in over 2 or 3 days with 10, 15 entrepreneurs and try to help them get more focused on their businesses, and then hear from them 2 or 3 years later, like I've been starting to hear from, and watching their successes has been great.